Forbes India and Indeed present Top 30 Talent Leaders of 2024.
Hi, I am Ravish Saily. I work for Syngenta Group and I head the HR for the Global Delivery Center. I'm based out of Pune. The kind of impact HR can make both on the business and on the employees is something which attracted me towards HR. Other than the CEO and the CFO, only other function which has pan-organization view and can make a pan-organization impact is the HR function. If you look at it a few years back, the number one priority for any business was the shareholder value. And to get the shareholder value, they realized that customers need to be happy and customers need to have a great experience. And that became number two priority for the business. And then the number three priority for any business was people, because if people are happy, they are able to take care of their customers, which will then take care of the shareholder value. I think now the apple cart has turned. Companies have realized that people are their number one differentiator. And if they have the right talent, engaged talent, then that will make a difference in their performance. So people are now becoming a number one priority. And if people are happy, they will take care of their customers. And if customers are happy, then the shareholder value will come. So the priorities are changing, and accordingly, the investment on these priorities are changing. Earlier, HR was number three priority in terms of investment. Now, slowly it is becoming a number one priority. I think that's where I'm finding this space a very exciting space to be in. If you look at talent, then the two key stakeholders of HR, which is employees and business leaders, for both of them, talent is the most important area. For employees, if you ask them what are the top three things which engages them, they will say number one is the kind of role they do, number two is their career journey, and number three is the learning opportunities. In all these three areas, HR plays a very important role, and talent leaders play a very important role. If you ask the business what's important for them, they will say we need the right talent at the right time, at the right cost. We need a good succession pipeline. We need a good talent pipeline at the entry level. In all these things, HR is very, very critical. Talent is very, very critical. Over time, but what has happened is, it has become more of a process in many organizations, and there are talent-related processes like talent segmentation. There could be individual development plans, but they're not linked into the business requirements. What ends up happening is business has their own activities, and then they say, okay, these are the HR activities which you have to do. They're not seen together, even though there's a big synergy, but today they're in many organizations working in parallel. What we have done at Syngenta is try to make it as a business agenda, and we try to co-create all the talent strategy along with business. We listen to our employees what they want, and then we be agile and evolving that. So in my journey as a talent leader, what we have been able to achieve is a place where talent agenda is a business agenda, HR is just a partner in it, is a functional expert and a guide. So that's what my talent journey has been. If you look at the challenges in 2024, I look at them in two categories. One is because of changes and frequent changes in technology, market dynamics, suddenly you will see that certain skill sets, the demand peaks out. And you will have many areas of peaks and then troughs. And when the peaks are there, it's very difficult to get the right talent at the right cost, because demand in the market is high and the skill sets supply is very low. Over time, people upskill themselves and the supply side also catches up with the demand. But till that time, there is a talent crunch which the talent leaders have to deal with. That's one area of challenge. The second area of challenge I've seen is the organizations, the complexity in the organizations are increasing. The world around you is becoming even more ambiguous and complex. So the demand from the leader is ever increasing, and it's very difficult to find a leader who ticks all the boxes. So you will have many functional leaders who are doing very well in what they do, but if you want them to transition to the next level and become a great leader for the organization, you always find certain gaps in that. So that's another area of challenge that as a talent leader I'm facing. What we do at Syngenta, these are not easy problems to solve. What we try to do is we keep ourselves agile. We work with business very closely. We try to solutionize. We have never reached a place where we say we are perfect. We try to get ourselves up to a stage and then we realize, okay, these are another thing we can do. We keep building on that, and that's been our strategy, which is working well for us. The way I look at technology, and not just in HR, all functions, because of technology, in future there will be two categories of roles which will be there. One will be the high-tech roles and the other will be high-touch roles. High-tech roles are the roles which are either working on the technology, implementing the technology, or using the technology. For example, if we take an example of HR, then there'll be a lot of people who will be working on payroll automation, onboarding automation, exit automation. Plus, there will be a lot of people who will be using the technology, for example, in talent management, compensation and benefit, to make their processes more efficient. So all these can be bucketed under high-tech roles. High-tech, I think technology will be available. So most of the companies will have the technology. And over time, a lot of people are getting themselves upskilled into these areas. Over time, you will have sufficient supply of skills in the high-tech roles also. The other area is the high-touch roles, which is around, say, leadership, coaching, employee well-being, culture, all of that. I think the high touch will be the differentiator for the organization because it's not easy to create that. Skill sets won't be easily available. Similarly, for TA, if we look at it, it will have both high-tech roles and high-touch roles. High-tech roles will evolve. Now the AI, ML maybe has just started. Over time, they will mature and the usage will keep going up and the impact of high-tech will be very high. But the differentiation that the TA professionals will make is in high-touch. For example, how good employee experience are they able to give? How do they do leadership hiring? How do they do employer branding? Those will be the differentiator in the technology era is what I feel. At Syngenta, HR and business has jointly worked over the last few years to create a very strong talent management framework. And thanks to that, there are some success stories. For example, our talent mobility, which was at 9% till 2 years back, is around 26%. So there has been a threefold increase. Talent mobility is how many people are able to get newer roles, role opportunities. And that could happen because a stronger internal job posting process, a stronger pause to talk, individual development plan process. So there was a lot of groundwork which was done to reach this. We were awarded ranked 6th in Great Place to Work in mid-sized organizations. So around 1,200 plus organizations participated this year and we were ranked 6th. Our retention rates are in 90s. So our retention is in single digits, and which is maybe 4 to 5% better than industry. Our hiring TAT has improved by 20% over the last couple of years. So I think these are some of the success stories I can share with you, Vivek, in our talent management journey. I'll say this is the best time to be getting into the job market. One, because of the India story. India is the growth engine for the world. And we are around a $4 trillion economy. Say in next 10 years, we will be $8-9 trillion economy. So more money will be created in next 10 years than what was created in last 75 years. Specifically, if you talk about HR, the role of HR is becoming very prominent because people are becoming the center point of organization success. And if people are the center point, HR automatically becomes a very important function. So this is the right time to be getting into HR. But having said that, the opportunity pie won't be distributed equally amongst everyone. Some will get a larger portion, some will get a smaller portion. So it's paramount that we start working on upskilling ourselves, evolving ourselves, being agile, learning, because some will make it great and some will find it difficult because the environment around us will remain challenging.
Forbes India and Indeed present Top 30 Talent Leaders of 2024.